Who are the predators? You talk in your book about the economic royalists.
Yeah.
Who are the predators not only in the United States? What is the definition of the social path, the social predator, as you see it?
Yeah. There's a TV show in America called Hoarding, which I have yet to see. But
people who just...
Yeah, people tell me about it. It's like these people who have, so many newspapers in their house that they can't walk through the living room, or the old lady who has 90 cats. It's like, how much is enough, right? I think that there are this is a mental illness, and it's identifiable. It's a form of obsessive-compulsive disorder. And I believe that there are some people who, instead of hoarding cats or newspapers, are hoarding money. And they are equally mentally ill. And then there are also among us the sociopaths, people who don't view other humans as humans. They view other humans as objects, and they think that they're the only human person in the world, and that's maybe 2 or 3 or 4% of the population. And as Business Week and Forbes both pointed out last year, sociopaths are wildly overrepresented in certain professions, particularly banking and the CEO class. So, because what kind of person could go to sleep at night knowing that they just destroyed 10,000 lives or families? A sociopath can easily do that. So we need to create societal protections against the sociopaths among us. We stop killers, we stop robbers, we stop people who beat other people up, those kinds of criminals. But is somebody who just threw 100,000 people out of their homes by mortgage fraud, is that not equivalent to beating up somebody on the street? Why is that person, because he's worth $1 billion and has a gold-plated jet, why is he treated, like this before Congress, whereas the man who stole somebody's wallet on the street is in prison? We have, at various times in our history, and in the history of every nation, we've always recognized the low-level predators and the low-level sociopaths, the common criminals. Occasionally, we recognize the high-level sociopaths, the high-level criminals.
Historically, we have good
historically, and sometimes they've actually been in royal families. Over the French Revolution, I would argue, is a great example of the people rising up and overthrowing a sociopath. And things like the Sherman Antitrust Act in the United States and other ways, the banks are so much more heavily regulated in Brazil, for example, than in the United States, as a way of trying to hold these people back. We need to be conscious of that. And in some ways, my book is a call, more than anything else, to say, look out for these folks.